If you're looking to create a webinar presentation that will grab your viewers' attention, then stick around as I show you how to design a webinar deck with smooth animations and clean transitions all inside of Canva. Let's get started.
Yeah, baby.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Under Budget Marketing Design, where I help marketers, small business owners, and DIYers how to create stunning graphics all while staying under budget. So do me a favor and set aside PowerPoint as we get down and dirty. So first thing you're going to want to do is open up Canva. If you don't have an account already, I suggest you create one. It's an awesome tool. I was a non-believer, now I'm a believer, especially if you don't have any of the Adobe products. So I'm assuming you already have your account ready to go. So what you're going to want to do is go to create a new design. And then from there, click on presentation. And then once you have that opened up, you will be presented with all these options, all these templates to choose from. If you're hard on time, I suggest choosing a template that best represents your brand, that works well with your brand. If you don't find anything that works with your brand, then maybe create something from scratch. Canva has a lot of little plug and play elements that you can use to create something visually pleasing that can also work with your brand. So in this example, I already have a template that I'm going to choose for this presentation, and it's going to be this guy. So once I click on a template, Canva kind of presents me with other slides with inside of that template. And I'm just going to kind of pick one that looks best for the intro slide. And I think I'm going to choose this guy. So here we go. Now it's been added to the artboard. And here is our first slide. So what we're going to want to do first is kind of just delete these things that I don't need. I can probably keep these in the future, but I'm just going to remove those now. And I like this little arrow thing here, so I'm going to keep it there. So what I'm going to want to do now is change these colors. So what you're going to do is click on one of the colors. And then from there, you're going to see this little box that opens up. Click on that bad boy. And then you have these default colors and then the document colors, which are the colors that have been preset for this template. So you can just add your new color. So click on this guy. And then you can add the hex color, or you can kind of just drag things around and then just choose the color that works for yours. But I already have a hex color chosen. So what I'm going to do is I want this to be a dark gray. And I believe that hex color is 20262C. And that's my color. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to click on this element here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I want this to be a red. So I have DC3A3B. Perfect. And now when I add new colors, they are then added to my document colors, which is awesome. So you have this little library of your colors that you've been adding throughout the project, so you can kind of keep things consistent. And what I want to do is change this little arrow element to white. Exactly the same way. Come over here and then just choose white. Boom. So next, what I'm going to want to do is add my company logo. I created a fake logo for this company. You would then obviously add your logo and change the colors to, work with your brand. So to add a logo or any other image or any element you want to add into Canva or this project, you click on upload, and you'll kind of see I already have some stuff in here already from my previous tutorials, but I'm just going to kind of show you how to do this. So you go to upload an image, and then just find that image or that logo or that whatever you're trying to upload on your desktop or wherever you have it saved, and you would click open. Canva's gonna upload it for you. And then once it's uploaded, you can just click it and it'll be added automatically to your canvas. So what you're gonna wanna do now is I wanna obviously resize this logo. If you're happy with that size of your logo, then by all means, leave it the way it is. But we're going to reduce the size. So I'm just gonna click and drag to the left, and Canva will resize the logo proportionally. And I think that's something like that. Let's do 441. And then I'm just going to drag around, and you'll see this little box show up. And that's essentially just telling you, hey, this is the safe area. Anything within inside this little square, this rectangle here, will be always viewed on screen. And we're just going to kind of place him and then just nudge him. To nudge any element in Canva, you can use your arrow keys up, down, left, right, and then it'll make small, minute changes so you get that nice precision. And I think that's fine. That's looking good. So what I want to do now is add my my title slide, right? So what we can do is add some text. And you'll see to the left here that Canva has some really cool font choices, these little combinations that they have curated for you. These work really well. If you find one that works well for your company, then by all means, go for it, add it, make some changes. But in this example, we're gonna just add a headline here. And this is just kind of exactly the same way you would have it in Word, right? You would just have a text box and then you can change the text just like any Word editor. And then what I'm gonna do is I already have some copy existing for this presentation. So let me just open that up. And I'm just gonna copy and paste it in. Obviously it's really big, it's not looking good. So the first thing I want to do is just change the font. So I'm gonna select the whole thing. I'm gonna come over here, and the font that I would like to use is Roboto. Whoopsies. Let's undo that. To undo, you just click this little arrow back here, or Command Z. I believe it's different on obviously a Windows computer. So just hit the back arrow, and that will undo what you just did. I'm just gonna paste everything back in there, and then come back over here, and then click on Roboto. Once I have everything selected. There we go. Roboto is now in there. And then what I want to do is make it left justified. Just click on this over here. You can have left justified, right justified, centered. We're going to throw it to the left. And I want this font to be 64 pixels. 64 points, excuse me. And I'm just going to kind of adjust it to fit the space. So again, just take this little text box and you can adjust it to fit whatever you're trying to fit. And I think right there looks fine. That's okay. I'm actually gonna nudge it a little bit to the left so it's a little bit more aligned with that logo right there. That looks good. And what I wanna do now is add a subhead. So we're gonna come over here, click on subhead, and then I'm just gonna take the copy I have here, and then I'm just going to add it in. And then left justify, bring it up. And I want this font to be, let's say like 28 points. So come over here, hit 28. Perfect. And then we're just going to format it so it lives in the space a little bit better. I'm going to bring them in. And let's bring the of down so it's not just kind of shooting out. And I'm bringing him down all the way up until that little box comes up saying, hey, don't pass me. Let's nudge him down a little bit. Oh, I just noticed that I'm actually nudging the background. That's what I don't want. There we go. We're gonna nudge him down a couple points. And that looks pretty good. So what I wanna do now is I'm going to be adding the product that this webinar is about. And for a realistic example, I'm choosing a product that is not sexy and not fun to market. And that is this fancy little heating control. So you're gonna add an image exactly how you would with the logo. You would come over here to upload, find the image you're gonna upload, and then just hit OK and it'll upload. In this example, I already have them uploaded here. So I'm just gonna click on and he will show up on screen. And I want him to be kind of spilling over the blue and the red. I'm just gonna adjust him here. And that looks good right there. That looks very good. So you just created a title slide, the beginning of your presentation. That looks awesome. And that was pretty quick. We did that in how many minutes? I don't even know how many minutes it is. I'm not even keeping track, but we did it pretty quick. As you could see, this is a much more fluid and intuitive way of designing. If you compare it to what's that thing called? PowerPoint. PowerPoint's awesome. PowerPoint's really a really powerful tool to have, but it just sucks sometimes. I'm telling you the truth, guys. So moving along, we're gonna add a new slide. So we're gonna go back over here to templates, and then we're gonna choose a slide that we think will be best, I guess, for the next slide. And for that, I think I'm going to choose let's maybe go with this guy here. And if you have, this is a good example, if you have your slide already selected and you click on a new template, Canva is going to think you want to replace that template. But if you don't want to do that, which exactly I don't want to do that, what I'm going to do is add a new page and not replace. Add a new page, and then it'll go right underneath it. So in this example, actually no, sorry. So in this slide here, we're going to delete some of these elements that I don't want. I'm going to delete that too. Delete this, this, and this. And then we're going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to come over here, change this to the red I have, and this white is okay, it's fine. And what I'm going to want to do is add, I'm going to add a title to this slide. So what I can do is just copy this element here, come and paste them in there. That was Command C and Command V on the Mac. You can always just come over here, right click it, hit copy, come back over here, and then right click on the artboard and click paste. And then this would pop up. So I'm gonna bring him up here, and then I have some copy I wanna choose, and I'm gonna paste them in there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust the text box to fit this space. And as you can see, I'm kind of going past the safe area, but in some cases, it's okay to do that. And I'm just gonna nudge him up a little bit. Just nudge up, nudge up, nudge up. Perfect. And what I want to do is now put in some copies. So I'm gonna come over here. And actually, you know what? I want to change this font. I don't want this to be that. I'm just gonna use Roboto Mono. I think it looks better. And then we're gonna have to come back over here and just kind of format that, just so it fits in the space a little bit better. Let's fix the bring them out a little bit. There we go. Perfect. That looks much better. Okay, cool. And what we're gonna want to do is make sure that's Roboto. Perfect. And I'm just gonna copy this little section we just did, and then paste them on this artboard. And then sometimes if you click on an element and it doesn't drag the way you want to drag, you also get these little, I guess, handles here. You can click on this handle and drag it around. And what we're going to want to do is select the whole thing, come over here, and then change the font color to a darker font, because white on white doesn't necessarily work. And I have some copy I want to put in. Perfect. We're going to expand the text box a little bit so it fits. And just kind of format it to fit in the space better. That looks good. And then I'm just going to drag them down. Again, not cooperating. There we go. Drag that down. I'm going to copy this section here and paste them here. Bring this over. There we go. And that's going to be this headline section here. Command paste that in there. Select the whole thing. Change it to red. Open up that box a little bit. And then we're just going to adjust him to fit better in the space. I would say about there. And then just nudge him up a little bit. Of course, you're not going to nudge. There we go. Nudge, nudge. And then we're going to bring this up here. I've actually nudged the background a little bit, so I'm just going to replace that so it's not showing so much red. And then I'm going to want to adjust him up a little bit more. Maybe even throw him down here somewhere. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. And I want to add that little arrow element over here, so I'm just going to copy him and then put him back here, and then we'll just change it to a darker color. Something like that. That looks good. Okay, so next thing is next. I want to talk about the products. We have our title slide, then we have a little brief intro about whatever this thing is, this heating control thing here. So what I want to do right after that is kind of get into the actual product itself. So we're gonna find another template that works well, and I think I'm gonna choose this one. Again, we're gonna get that prompts. You can click over here, add as news page, news page, news page. Perfect. And we're gonna delete this, delete this, delete this, delete, delete, delete. But I'm gonna keep these here. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. So I'm gonna click this guy. We're gonna choose the blue, and then we're gonna change the background color to that red. Perfect. Maybe we can actually just change this color here to that. That looks a little better. Does it? I don't know. Maybe the red? Let's go back to red. My gut's saying red. We're gonna keep it red. Okay, coming back down here. We're gonna kind of do the same thing, right? I'm just gonna copy this little intro section here. I'm gonna put him over here. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna select the whole thing. Come over here, make him blue, or that darkish, grayish thing, not that blue. And then I'm just going to copy some of that copy that I have, paste it in. I can probably even expand this out a little bit. I like it stacked, that's fine. We're gonna bring him up just past. You know what, let's actually just undo that and have him where he was previously. That's fine. I'm gonna copy this section here, paste it in, make sure to drag him over to the left, and then I have some bullet points that I want to call out to. Select the whole thing, copy and paste, come over here to your bullets. Let's actually bring this in like that. Come over here. Just gotta have to format it a little bit before bulleting the whole thing. There we go. And it's gonna create some extra bullets. You can just delete those. Come over here, delete, and then just space that out. Actually, wait, that's actually supposed to be one thing, just like that. There you go. That's fine. And then we're just going to adjust this, bring him down a little bit, and then just adjust it so he's kind of lined up to this guy here. Formatting makes all the difference, my friends. We can even bring him down a little bit. That looks fine. Yeah, that looks good. And then what I want to do is just add the product in there again. So I'm going to come back to my uploads, click on him again, and then just kind of adjust him. Something like that. Looks good. Perfect. We can even make this section here red to be consistent with the previous one over here. I'm actually starting to think this is too much red, so we're actually going to come over here and we'll make him the dark gray. That looks better. We want that color, but we don't want too much color. We don't want that red to be just super jarring, and then you got the red background and the red text, and it's just too much red going on. Okay. Next up, we're going to want to add our pricing page, right? So we're going to come over here and kind of repeat the same process. And I want this page here, add as new template. I'm going to come over here and make sure to save this. So to save, I don't know if you guys caught that, go to File and then Save, and then it's then saved. It's been thrown to the cloud has it, Canva has it, it's in safe. It's in a safe place. So I'm going to come over here and delete these little elements here. Select these because I like them. They're working out pretty good for me. And if I can just, there we go. I'm kind of bring them down. Something like that works. And then to change the color of this element, come over here, click on that, just as you would with the background or the font color. Change it to that. Perfect. And I'm going to delete this. I'm going to keep these here though. Oh, and I just realized we forgot to carry over a little element here. Put him there, and then we're going to change him to white. Perfect. I'm just going to save again. It's always a good habit to save. Constantly save, guys. Okay, so we have that good to go. And I want to make this, we're going to keep it, this is like a black. We're going to make it the same bluish, grayish color. It's got a little blue tinge to it, right? And I'm going to change these bullets to red. So what you can do to select everything, you just click on an element, hold shift again and again, and then come over here, boom, red. Easy peasy. And then for this section, we're just gonna have a little title for this pricing page. So I'm gonna come back over here, copy this, paste it in, change the font color to white, and then adjust appropriately. That looks fine. I'm gonna copy this copy I have here. Copy this copy. That sounds funny. And then just adjust. There you go, that works. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna kind of fill in the information. So this document has its own font choice. I'm gonna come over here and just double click to go into this group, right? Because right now it's currently grouped. If you double click on an element, you can come over here, and then we're just gonna change it to the Roboto Mono. Select on this one, and then we'll change that one to just the Roboto, and then repeat the same process. Select, keep on clicking in the wrong place, over here, Roboto, come over here, Roboto, Mono, same thing. And then Roboto Mono. Perfect. And then I'm going to change this to, I don't know, what do I have right here? 15, 25, and 45. 15, 25, and then 45. And then I just have the model number of this fake little heating control. And this one's going to be R3, and then the R4. And if you want to get fancy, you could even, show, I guess, the different versions of that little product, right? And you can just kind of copy and paste them over. Obviously, the model would change as you were going through the different models, but I don't have different models, and I have just this one image, so I'm just going to just leave it empty for now. That looks fine. And then I think that's it. But you know what I want to do is I want to add an intro slide, like a pre-intro slide, because this is really just the last one, right? That's the last slide. You can add a thank you. Let's add a thank you. I have a thank you here. Why not? So I'm going to come back over here to templates, and I'm going to choose, let's go with this one again. Add new page. And here's a cool little tidbit, because I didn't cover this yet, to, I guess, organize or order your presentation slides however you please. You just click on this arrow up or down, and it will move that slide accordingly. So I want it at the end, and I want to delete all these little elements here. Delete that background, and I'm going to take this element here, and I'm going to drag them all the way out to the end. And then I'm going to delete this and this. I'm going to copy this over these two elements here. So I'm going to click and shift again, copy that, come over here, change the background color because it is the incorrect color, adjust accordingly. That's fine. Copy and paste this in. And then just for a little pizzazz, I'm going to make the period red. Look at that, guys. That is a graphic designer right there. Graphic designer. There we go. And then just adjust it like that. And then we're going to add our website. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to adjust this down a little bit. Take this, even adjust this down some more. That's perfection. Come over here, file save. And I'm gonna duplicate this exact page, and then I'm gonna add it to the front. So it's gonna be pre-slide, if that makes any sense, right? So to do that, you're just gonna come over here, and this guy right here, and copy page. And then we're gonna adjust this to go all the way to the tippy top. Boom, there we go. And what I wanna do is just delete this, and I just want the logo to be in there. So I'm gonna come over here to the uploads, add the logo, increase it up a little bit in size, and adjust. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we just finished our webinar. The whole deck is done, the presentation's done, and it was done pretty smoothly, I think. It was a pretty easy process. I mean, I've done this a couple times and I'm more familiar with Canva, but you can kind of see it's pretty easy. It's like plug and play. It's just connecting the puzzle pieces. And if you use one of their pre-made templates, you can get this done really quick. Now, if you have to pass this deck to different presenters for them to add their own information, then I think that's where you're gonna fall into a little bit of a speed bump, because you can't even do it. Not even a speed bump, it's a wall. So I'm not sure if you can. If you know that you can do it in Canva, please comment below and let me know, because I would like to know that. So what we're gonna do now is just to add a little bit more pizzazz, I'm gonna show you how to add transitions and animations, and Canva makes that so freaking easy. Let me show you. So we're gonna click on one of the slides, have the slide present. Actually, if it just shows up on screen, here you go. You're gonna have that slide essentially selected. It's just, as long as it's on the screen or your cursor's in there, then this little animation thing pops up. So click on animate, and you have all these different animation options to choose from. So you have this block, you have this fade, and if you just kind of scroll over them, it'll show you what the animation looks like. And then there's some premium versions here. If you're subscribed to the premium version, then you'll have access to these. But I think for now, these are pretty good, and they're well tuned. So we're gonna do we're gonna come over here and then just change the speed. So I'm gonna do slow, and then I want mine to pan. Or actually, I want it to rise. No, I want it to pan, fade. I don't know, but as you see, as I select it, it kind of shows you what the transition is gonna look like. I'm gonna do pan, guys. We'll do pan. So we have pan going on, and I'm gonna come over here now, and then just have it on the screen, and we're gonna do the same thing. Change the speed, and then pan, and boom, look at that. Do you guys see how awesome that is? It essentially takes all your elements and edits them with the transition. It adds a transition for you. It does all the tweaking and the tuning for you. For me to reproduce this in PowerPoint, it would take me a while and a lot of fine tuning. And then when I pass it on to, my other presenters, it could possibly break. And that's happened to me many times, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to you before. So we're gonna continue down the line, come over here, animate, slow, pan. Over here, slow, pan, animate. There we go. We'll do pan again and slow. Perfect. We're gonna save this just to be safe. Looking good. Okay, so what we're gonna wanna do now is we wanna see how it looks, right? You just finished it, you put the time and the effort into it. Now let's see how the presentation is gonna look when we're actually presenting on the webinar day. So you wanna come over here to present, click on this little arrow, and then you have present. Click on that. Click on standard. You have autoplay and presenter view. And I think in presenter view, you can add your notes, almost like PowerPoint has the presenter view. You have that little like split window. But for now, we'll just do standard. And then click on present. Boom. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So as you see, if I kind of scroll over, you'll get this little blue highlight thing here, and you'll get these little widget thingies. This little thing that comes up. You can see the audience, and minimize and maximize, and go to the next slide. But if you just take your cursor and just push it all the way to the right and not move, these things will disappear, and then you can use your left and right arrow keys to transition. So let's do that. Look at that, guys. Do you see how awesome that is? That's just... When I discovered this, I was a little bit blown away. And I mean, I know this might not seem super exciting for some people, especially marketers who have other important things to worry about, like the funnel and getting people to sign up to emails and leads. But from a graphic designer standpoint, that's pretty cool that I did it in like, I don't know how many minutes I've been doing this for, but I did it pretty quick, and it's very impressive. And there you go, guys. That's your webinar. You just did it. I'm proud of you. Continue to work in Canva. I'm telling you guys, this thing is a really cool tool. If you're going to continue to use PowerPoint, then continue to use PowerPoint. I'm not saying that PowerPoint's a bad thing, but hey, pick whatever works for you. Like I said, you can't have multiple people working in this, I guess in this deck, this presentation. I think you could if you gave them your information, but I don't know how that would work out. I don't know. If you guys do that way, then please comment below. Let me know, because I would really like to know how that works with multiple team members and multiple presenters. So yeah. I hope you got something out of this video. I enjoyed making this one. This was a really fun video. Continue to, work on your skills. You're doing great. You're going to get there. And if you stick around on my channel, I'll help you. I'll lead you to the promised land, if you will. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day.
Yeah, baby.